Hi everyone, welcome to another Simbi Business Case of the Week, where this week we're highlighting the value of Sprout Social. What you're looking at is a business case for Sprout Social, which a rep might use to align on value with a prospect in an initial qualification or discovery call. And I'll walk through how they might use this in a real life scenario in talking to a prospect. Now, you might start off with a product introduction before getting into the value and even aligning on some customer context. And you can do that by creating something like a value pyramid slide where you might want to align on your customers' goals, strategies, and challenges before jumping into the first value driver. Now, the first bit of value which we're showing is the time savings for the social media team. Now, I can actually show how these calculations have been done by just clicking into the chart so that I can show my prospect and be very transparent with how the calculations are being shown. The second value driver is coming from the time savings on influencer management, and that's coming from the number of campaigns and the hours per campaign. Now, on a call, even like I'm doing right now, I might want to customize these variables based on my prospect's specific metrics, and I can modify these in the variable section like so. I can go through some of the key variables which the calculations are based on. And what you'll notice is that this will then start to modify the chart based off the information which I'm putting in. And so very quickly, I'm getting outcomes which are specific to the prospect's data and the value which they're going to see. With Simbi's CRM integration, a lot of this data is pulled in automatically from your CRM transcripts and deal notes by our AI agents. We can then also show the revenue growth coming from employee advocacy, again, with Sprout Social sections showing a little uplift coming from the revenue growth. I can also bring in additional outcomes if they come up in conversation with my prospect, and I can do that by accessing my slide library from here. And I can just add those slides in with a lot of ease and start to customize those as they come up and as my prospect describes to me what that legacy cost is going to be. We then get into pricing, where we're showing the annual cost of Sprout Social licensing, any ongoing maintenance costs, and the one-off implementation and training costs, showing the total TCO, which then takes us into the ROI, which is a really compelling story, including total revenue impact coming from all of those outcomes which we've just aligned on, along with those costs that they no longer have to pay coming from the legacy tool savings. I can then scroll back up. You'll see that the key assumption slide is automatically populated with all of those assumptions which I've just filled in. And I also have an exec summary which shows me a high-level overview of the financials, including a cost of delay, which gives me the monthly value of doing nothing. At that point, I can then generate the rest of this with AI, which will then use context from within the business case to give me a little introduction, and also how Sprout Social will address my customers' key challenges. At that point, I can start to think about sharing this, and I might then want to rename this and actually brand the business case for my prospect. And so as I do that, I can just put in my prospect URL into here, and straight away the whole business case will brand with the color scheme and logo in the top left corner. At that point, I can then share the business case directly with my prospect and start to collaborate directly with them on it to make sure that we get that final sign off and build the kind of final business case together. Hopefully that was useful to see a workthrough of Simbi in the Sprout Social example. Thank you very much for watching.